Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Papa Joe.
And Chris.
And today we're going to feature our good friend, Robbie Elle. She's a veteran. Is it okay if I call you veteran? Of the El Paso music scene? She's a longtime member of the El Paso music community. And she's also the frontwoman for a really cool band, Fastback 67. So, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So, I remember, so a couple of months ago, we went to go check out her band, Lucky Dogs.
Lucky Dog Beer Garden.
And I was really shocked to find out her history in the music scene. She was involved in putting shows together, and did you say you were putting music festivals together?
Yeah, I did. I was working under Longtime Productions, and this was in
Longtime Productions.
Let's say 2001, 2002. Well, that's the name I was using.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually opened a small business. I had a brick and mortar out in Fox Plaza. And I wanted to help the music community because there was so many young bands. At the time I wasn't gigging, my band wasn't active, so there was a lot of young bands that I had heard. I think I heard them at different places. Paulina's Badlands was probably one of the biggest places I've heard them. And I just wanted to help them get out there because there was so many talented. I mean, some of the music is not the music that I listened to, but they were just so talented. You think about all the effort that they put, and I'm sure a lot of hours writing the material, playing their instruments, and these are young kids.
Yeah.
I also did a lot of various charities and stuff. I did one in God, I can't remember the year, but it was in the 2000s, called Baby-Rama.
Baby-Rama.
Yeah, and that one featured female musicians. You had to have at least one female to be in the band. At that time, there wasn't a whole, and the reason why I did that one actually, because during that time, there wasn't very many female musicians like there are now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking, Valerie Ortega from Wallflower. I mean, she was still really, really young. I mean, she's still young now, but she was even younger then. We had Caroline from Liquid Skin.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of other, Cat Tyler was there too, but she had already been in the scene for a while.
Yeah,
so I did that to kind of bring out a lot of, musicians. And, and I'm talking, there was this one band, I really can't remember their name, but they were death metal, and is a really tiny girl with a big bass guitar. I can't remember her name.
Is it Community of Thieves?
It's probably Christo, because Christo's real tight.
Oh, is it Cat?
Is it
Catastrophe?
Our ball?
Well, no, but they played with them. I remember Catastrophe.
Yeah, she plays with us now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's
badass.
Wow, that
She's
is
really
so
bad.
neat.
She's really good.
Crystal.
Yes.
Awesome.
So I was just trying to get them out there, and like I said, there wasn't that many at the time, but whatever handful was out there did that little show. We donated the proceeds to the Child Crisis Center, and we had a really good crowd. It was at Bombardiers out in Castellano. You remember that place?
Yeah, on the west side.
Bombardiers, yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
I think I've been here since 2015, 2014.
Yeah, no, it was before then.
Way before that, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you front the band.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find like you just because you're a female you get treated different than the males?
I don't. I think maybe back in the 80s it probably was a lot more truer than it is now. Now, you're pretty much an equal. I guess, sign of the times,
Okay.
the times are changing. So it's pretty, and I do mostly everything for the band other than play all the instruments, but I book the bands, I make the flyers, do the promo, go secure the gigs, get the people out there and
That's
stuff.
good.
So,
That's good.
I know a lot of guys in the bands do, but I'm pretty much the one that's all.
So so you've been in the music scene since, what was it, 2001 or?
No, actually I started my very, very first gig, and I'm embarrassed to say this because
Okay,
it's going to age me.
Zone.
It's going to age me, but I'm going to tell you anyway. This is in early 90s. My first gig, live real gig, not the kind where you get paid with a plate of food or whatever
exposure,
or you get exposure. There you go. I played at this place called the Elks Lodge.
Yeah, I remember.
The Cliffs, remember?
Yes.
Well, it was a high school reunion thing.
Okay.
And that was one of my very first, and it was in the early 90s. The band was called Rhythm Sage.
Rhythm Sage?
Yeah. The guitarist was Manny Silva. He was actually the guitarist for Dr. Groove for many years.
Oh, wow.
So before Dr. Groove, he was there. There was a lot of other musicians, like Gary Whitener. Danny was a drummer too. Yeah. So that
Danny
was my first
Fastback.
gig. So that was like in the early 90s.
Oh, okay.
I did do stop a little bit because again, you know, it was harder to get back into venues, especially as a female.
Yeah.
You cannot, hey, and you know, at that time you still had QID out there. You had all these other bands. Well, maybe not QID, but there was a lot of other bands still, and again, male bands out there. Yeah.
So how have you, like, since the '90s until where we're at now? How big of a difference do you see in the music scene?
Wow. Well, there's a difference where, like the bars that I used to go, a lot of them aren't even open anymore. But let's say that when I used to go to the bars, it was like Saso's. You hit all of Mesa Street to what is it, Grahamstown Central Station?
Yeah, Graham.
College Station. I'm sorry.
Oh, College
Station. Papa's. You know, I say
Waldies.
Tuna's was still new. I say Tuna still had that big chunk of board in front of the door. It didn't even have the patio and all that stuff.
Right.
You know, so there's a lot of bands out there that I used to go watch, and you know, there was actually a lot of musicians out there supporting the other bands. You know. Also, there's been a change in where the venues used to charge to get in $5. That's how you made your money. Yeah, there's still a couple here in El Paso that do that, and now, well, you do get a set. You don't have to worry about getting a door, you know, the cover, and they'll say, hey, well, what's your rate? And you give them your rate, X amount of money or whatever. That's the biggest change. However, the amount that you get, and this is not all venues, again, okay, you know, it depends on the
in general.
They're still paying a lot of the bands what they did back in the 80s.
I was gonna ask. That was my next question.
Yes.
So like, okay, so like, guitars got more expensive, drums got more expensive.
Yeah.
Just everything, you know, due to inflation, everything went up except for the rate that they pay the bands.
Yeah, and you know, again, it's not all the venues. It's some venues, and I could understand from a business standpoint. I could understand if I have a capacity of 74 people, 75 people, I can't very well pay you $500, and I'm exaggerating, okay?
Yeah.
$500. Whereas I have a venue, let's take for example raves. It's like, I don't know what the capacity is, like a million there, and they can pay you that rate. I mean, I don't know if they do or not, but that's the difference. So I know that from a business standpoint, you got to be, you know, okay, well, you know, there's you know how much beer people would have to drink in a 75-person capacity to make that. So yeah, a lot of the mentality is there too. Is that, oh well, you know, this is what we pay.
We're a business.
Well,
we got to make money too.
Yeah. So and again, it's not all venues. You know, I've been lucky that I work with a lot of venues where their managers, their staff is really cool.
They're fair.
You know, yeah, they're fair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool how you book your gigs like way in advance, right?
Oh yeah, you have to.
Like how many months out?
You have to. I try to do, and I think this is pretty much standard for everybody, between 3 and 4 months, because right now the saturation of so many bands in El Paso and a lot of great bands. The diversity, a lot of bands. There's some venues that want only Spanish, some one country. So we're fortunate enough that we have a little bit of yeah. You gotta have the Selena. So you gotta spread it out and stuff. But I book between 3 and 4 months in advance, and also to give the guys in our band an opportunity, like, hey, well, you know what, I can't do this. If I wait the last minute, we'll say, hey, well, I got a wedding or, you know, whatever I got to do. So it gives them enough time to get their stuff in order.
That's cool.
And also because, like I said, the market is saturated right now, so you get what you get now. You know, oh, St. Patrick's, yeah, we got it.
Yeah, because I noticed that your band plays some of the venues like very early, like first. Like before other bands get to them, so I think that speaks to like your preparation and your planning too.
Yeah, and I go well. I think as musicians, because there's so many bands around, you got to look for the venues because they're all, oh, well, no, we're booked till January, and it's true. So I'm always looking at the next and greatest thing, oh, there's a new venue there. And a lot of venues, they're open for like 3 months and then they close and it's a new venue. Yeah, so I just try and go in there, just let them know, hey, you know what? And sometimes it's a hard sell. They say, oh, well, no, well, we got a DJ. I go, well, yeah, but you know what? Live music will bring a crowd. A lot of people like live music. So it's a hard sell. You got to wheel and deal. Say, okay. Then I go, just try it. If you don't like it, nothing lost.
Right.
So yeah, it didn't work.
You guys you guys are a cover band?
We are a cover band. Yeah.
What kind of genres of music do you guys cover?
Well, when we first started, we tried to do and a couple of other bands. We tried to do in the 90s. We tried to do Red Hot Chili Peppers. We did Nirvana, but it was you know how Paso was kind of slow to get into that group, so you got the old cricket clap, like, okay,
Yeah.
was that a cover? Oh, though, so we had to revert to going to all the mainstream stuff, ZZ Top,
80s.
Doors, and that's what El Paso loves. That's what I mean, we kind of slip under the and the venue owners try to, well, what kind of music do you play? I can't say I play Six Pistols or the Ramones, because you know, they can say no, no, so you kind of slip it in under the radar there. Surprise!
So Gordon, that's like, is it more not cutthroat, but is it more what's sort of looking for? Is it more we compete, like a competition, competitive in the cover band genre, because you guys are all competing to play these places? So is it more competitive? And there are a lot of cover bands here.
It's not competitive. I think it all depends on what the venue wants. If the venue wants the nice, pretty girl up there, they bring the guys in and the draw, you know, and you know, got a lot of great looking women around here that are, you know, musicians, and they're talented too. So that helps. But I mean, it all depends on the venue, you know. What do they want? Like, I can say, hey, I play ZZ Top and I play CCR and I play Doors, but then I have another band that says, oh, I play 70s, I play some disco stuff. So they'll go ahead and say, oh, well, you know what, this is the kind of music we want.
Okay.
And you know, and we actually have a really big set list for that reason. Because they say, oh, well, no, you only play. No, I go, well, you know what? That's one set list. We customize our set list to the venue. Some venues we play all the rock stuff because we know that's what the draw is there. But if we go to another place, okay, let's do the 70s dance, 80s stuff. And you know, for us, we've been lucky that the 80s pretty much goes in anywhere.
Yeah, you can't miss.
Yeah.
With like the crowd that, it's crazy because like, so we're 80s kids.
Yeah.
And 80s kids have always been so like fanatic about music, like the 80s music and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So like a bunch of people that we were going to concerts with in the 80s, we're all the ones that are going to shows now at venues and bars and grills and stuff. It's all the people from our age, and I think that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, we can have a whole conversation about 80s music.
We can, yeah.
And especially here in El Paso.
Thank
you, Club 101.
Because it's cool, because like Judy and I, we always talk about like the 80s, and like we were at the same concerts. You know, in 85, 86, we were seeing all the same bands. And it's cool that you guys, like your bands like yours, play that music, because that like speaks to our soul.
Yeah, and you know, and you kind of dig, because you go, oh man, they're playing the song that we play. So like every year we look at our list. Okay, well, let's take this one out. Let's take this one out, because there's 10 bands that do the same song, and I guarantee you that's true.
Yeah. True.
At least 10 bands in El Paso will be playing at least the first four songs, or I have at least 4 songs that are the same. So we kind of look at our set list every year, say, okay, let's do this, take this out, we didn't really work on, we really don't play it, whatever. And then we'll look at it, and then, oh, you know, you're driving and you hear that song, listen to all and say, okay, you know what, I think we can do this. Yeah, we're a 4-piece. Yeah, we don't have a keyboard, but
True.
I'll sprout an arm or something. We'll do something. Yeah. So yeah, that's.
I remember, and you know, one thing I did want to talk about is like, it's also really cool when you see musicians supporting their fellow musicians in different bands. And like we saw you at Brew one time supporting Red Ruby.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean that, like for Judy and myself, that speaks volumes, man. Like when we see musicians supporting other bands. Like we just saw Chris a week and a half ago, checking out some local bands, and it's rare. I mean, you know, it's awesome, but it's also kind of rare.
You know, it's really hard, and you know, because again, we're all gigging, so it's very hard.
That's true.
So I know if I don't see my buddies from Red Ruby or whoever, you know, their Searchlight Needles, whoever, if I don't see them, I know it's because they have a gig.
Right.
So whenever we get times, and you know, sometimes we're tired. We're like, man, we don't even want to be in a bar. But we'll go, you know what? They're close by. Let's just walk on over. You know, we go. You know, just check them out, because I know that, you know, if they had the time, they would come, and they do. You know, we make time for them, they make time for us and stuff. And it's also good, because, you know, it's good to hear.
And you also get those other, like the other side of the coin is where you go to just to go to a show at one of the venues here, and then there's a bunch of musicians that are, and then take turns going up to stage to like jam with everybody, and that's pretty cool too.
I call it break time.
Break time, heck yeah. Hey, let's get that, we're over here. That's smart.
No, but yeah, it's pretty neat, yeah. And they go, wow, I never played that song. He goes, well, I don't know the song. Well, neither do I. Let's just fake it.
Do you think that there's ever a time when a front person won't call up a fellow front person because they're intimidated?
I don't believe that that's the case. I think, well, for me, and again, I'm just a singer, so I have a microphone. As an example, I wouldn't do it, especially during this day and age where the COVID is rampant everywhere.
Sure,
I wouldn't want anybody singing on my mic. And a lot of times too, I think it's not so much because they don't want me. It's just very difficult to get the settings and the tones of the guitars and stuff. So there's some musicians that aren't very respectful of that. They go, crank it up.
Pop a string and shit.
Yeah, whatever, My $800 guitar, dude, what you do to it?
Yeah.
So I think it's for that, but not necessarily because it's intimidation. I mean, I've seen a lot of musicians at different shows. I haven't even been there, but I've seen like the videos and everything like that, and say, hey man, you guys kicked ass, or you guys are awesome. There's just so many of them. There's just a lot of great musicians in El Paso.
What about like having like a mixed show where there's like a cover band and an original band? Have you ever done anything like that?
Oh yeah. I mean, we have our friends Searchlight Needles. They're kind of like ska punk, and I met them actually. Wow. Like in 2000, whatever.
Because I want to see,
I can't remember.
your band and Chris's band on a bill.
Yeah, you know what? And that's
how it's gonna work out.
You know what? But that's the only way you're gonna make change to where people will
Fastback Taliban.
I mean, that's the only way that you're gonna let them have an opportunity to hear another band. Because if it's a single bill, it's like, well, I don't want. What comes to metal, deathcore? Oh, I don't want to go. But you say, you know what? They're gonna play. We're gonna be up next, and they go, wow, they're really good. I've heard that all the time. They go, oh wow, they're really good. A little different, but they're really, really good.
I can say with Chris's band, he has like some of the most talented musicians in El Paso in his band.
I really do. I'm very blessed.
Yeah, they're
very blessed.
badass. As well as your guys have too. Man, you got some good dudes.
I play with Eric, Texas Taliban, Eric King, and Christo Lopez, and Hex Lee, and Ramsey. So. Yeah, those guys are, I think, some of the top-notch guys here in El Paso. So,
hell yeah.
I'm honored to be in a band with them. I can't even believe I'm in a band with those guys. They're so talented. So, but going back to something you were saying earlier, when I was with Not My Master, we do shows in Dallas.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah.
And I remember them. Yeah. we do shows in Dallas, and me and those guys are so much in tune. Like we'd freestyle. Like before we started a set, we do a freestyle. And we'd bring another singer up and another vocalist up, and him and I would just tag team and freestyle, man. And that's fun. That's fun stuff. I think people really want to see that type of shit, man. I do think there are people out there that are intimidated and don't want to bring other people up because it's like, oh, this is my thing, and you can't touch it, you can't outshine me, and shit like that. It's like, dude, it's not a competition, man. Have fun. That's what music's about.
Well, you know what? Another thing too that I look at is gel factor, because you can have 5 room of the greatest musicians ever.
Yeah, you gotta.
But if they don't gel, it doesn't work.
Man,
it doesn't work.
Very true.
And yeah.
Very true. That's awesome.
Okay, so one thing I did want to talk about before we finish our interview is your Barket.
Yes.
What's the whole name Barket?
It's called Barket Pop-Up Shop Markets, and actually,
it's a mouthful,
isn't it? Right?
I can't say
it doesn't even fit on the flyer, man. I gotta squeeze the fonts down. I actually did this. Started it about 2 years ago, pre-COVID, and our first event was at the Persian Inn, and we actually did it because I had a friend of mine that had cancer, so we kind of made it into a market, but a benefit at the same time. And it kicked out pretty good. Now, post-COVID, I brought it back, and it was mainly to give a lot of vendors a place to vent, because during COVID, there was, I mean, if you think about it, if that's what you do for a living, if you are a vendor, that's your, bread and butter, and it's COVID, where everything's closed.
You can't business.
Yeah, everything's shut down. How are you going to make money? So I did that to help a lot of them. A lot of them have jobs too, but there are some that's the bread and butter.
Side hustle.
Yeah. So it's fortunately for me, I have a lot of good people.
Creative.
Yeah, with a good input and stuff, and it's non-profit. Everything that we make, we actually pick for every event that we make. We actually pick a charity, mostly for animals. We got.
Well, I thought it was called Barket because of the bark, the word bark.
No, a lot of people think that because the charities are kind of like the dogs or animals or whatever, but it's actually because it's a market and a bar. A lot of markets that I've seen, I mean, I'm sure there's a couple in a bar, but a lot of markets that I've seen have been out like in a, you know.
Yeah, like a swap meet.
Building, yeah, kind of thing like that. So.
So what kind of vendors do you like prefer, or is anybody welcome?
Anybody's welcome. I mean, it's only $10. You know,
like for a space
super
table?
cheap. Yeah, there's some that go up to 25, 35,
Yeah, I know,
50. There's some that have up to 1 million people. Since mine are Barkets and Barkets bars have a capacity. I'm pretty sure that the capacity includes what the vendors, peoples that are there.
Right.
So we get all kinds. You know, we got some that are doing like the aguas. You know, traditional culture food. You got people doing like the Mexican clothing. You got a lot of crafters out there that are doing candles, soaps, oils, essential oils. So there's a little bit of everything. Clay. There's a little bit of everything. I mean, I'm doing my vintage, so you get a little bit of everything. So if you go there, I mean, everybody that I've seen go there, they walk out with a bag. So they purchase something. So I was going to the vendors. I go, did you guys make it? Did you guys do okay? Yeah, we take it. I go, okay, as long as you make your $10, we're good.
We're going to have to get a table one of these days.
Yes, go.
Judy makes her awesome wreaths.
Oh, do you really?
For the holidays.
Yeah.
And I make, a lot of people don't know this. I've shared it before, but I make rosaries.
You see? Yeah, that'd be so
like I've been, like I'll make like 4 or 5 a night. Because like we'll sit down to watch TV and I'll work on them as, you know, watching TV. But they're kind of different. They're like, they're called 1 decade rosaries. And I make them for men.
Oh.
And I don't want to, you know, I don't want to get over religious because I know a lot of people aren't into that, but I am. And I'm going to get on my soapbox. But I believe that the rosary is a weapon, and real men pray the rosary. So that's why I make them. I have a lot of faith in it.
You're more than welcome to go and
Cool.
set up. It's pretty neat.
Heck yeah. I'll have to hit you up.
Yeah, and what we also do is we have a lot of raffles. Again, a lot of that, all the raffles that we have, that money that's made from the raffles actually goes to whoever the charity is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good group, you know. We're like about 90 members, 89, 90 members.
Wow.
I mean, pretty, and I just made the group maybe like 3 months ago because it got kind of hard to handle.
We should get a booth together, Chris. I'll bring my rosaries and you can bring your
satanic shit.
Your art.
Yeah.
Oh, my art. I'll bring my art.
Yes.
I want satanic stuff.
You know what? You know what? Yeah, I mean.
Hey, something for everybody.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's really, really neat. And I've been fortunate to have, I know a lot of the venue owners because we've at some point or another we've performed there. It's like, hey, let's give us an opportunity for this. So
that's cool.
It's been pretty good, and I've got a pretty decent schedule. I actually have already booked into next year.
Wow, that's good.
To St. Patrick's.
What kind of charities do you guys donate to? Like, which one specifically do you donate to?
The one there's 2 that I've been working with pretty often with these last 2 events that I've had. One of them is the Positive Rescues of El Paso, and they do a lot of help. Karen Washington's actually the head of that, and she does a lot for like homeless dogs that they find in the street. People call, the Lost and Found page. I don't know if you guys got on that. There's a ton of dogs that get lost, they're injured or whatever. And, so she does a lot to try and get them fostered. She gets them their seen by the vets. So she just does a lot for them. So I just figured when I saw that, and I go, man, this lady's sure a mover and shaker with all these animals. So I thought, and I asked her, reached out to her, I go, hey, how do you afford all this stuff? Because it's expensive.
Yeah, I love myself.
She goes, no, it's just a private citizen doing what she can.
Yeah.
So I said, what, I'm going to help you.
It's like my cat's missing right now. If anybody's watching this, she's a white cat with blue eyes. I think she's in heat. So she's out there being a host somewhere. I know she is. So I haven't seen her in 2 days. So.
Well, check Lost and Found.
If you see Simone and you tell her stop being a hoe and come home, okay?
Come home, Simone.
And speaking of the cats, I've got an organization that's fairly new, freshman. Maybe 3 months. Kind of had this idea because we have a feral cat problem here in El Paso.
Oh, that's where Simone was. She was a feral cat.
Was she?
Yeah, she was.
I have feral cats at work.
Well, you know what? We can help you work with different organizations and, get them TNR'd.
I guess it was about 6 months ago. Because I work at a campus, one of the campuses here in El Paso, in the Lower Valley.
You know what? I think I saw that post where they were living under.
There was this dog, it was a stray dog. She had 4 puppies under one of the buildings there. And we could hear them, and then we'd see them come out, but we'd come out and they would, run inside. So eventually, we called Love Dog Rescue.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And like we had to like, one of my guys is real skinny. We actually had to dig out all the dirt, and he actually crawled under it's a portable classroom. He crawled under the portable and grabbed each puppy. So they were able to rescue the mom and the 4 puppies.
Oh wow.
So they came and they picked them all up and took them. And there was a lot of screaming and crying from the puppies, but I'm sure they were safe. They felt really safe under there. But
I mean,
it was about to get really cold, so we were really worried about them. It was about a year ago, I think. It was right before the winter. So I mean.
Yeah, there's a lot of organizations do. I mean, so many, and they're trying to do so much. You know, we just need to be doing a better job of taking care of our animals and making sure that they're secured in their yard and stuff. And
Right.
yeah, but anyways, the Tuna Project. Just before I forget, because I really want to do
what?
the Tuna Project. We're gonna actually have a benefit this Saturday at the Borderland Steakhouse. It's a Barket, and Tuna Project will be. It's gonna be our coming out.
Where is it?
It's the one that's off at, remember the old Great American off of Alabama?
Oh yeah.
It's that building. It's really nice. It's still still open.
Yeah, they have a real cool patio there.
Oh yeah. Actually, there's a band. Blackjack's gonna be playing that.
I didn't know they had changed the name.
Yeah, well they bought it. Somebody else bought it. They closed
We
it.
went one time on like a Friday, and we saw our friends in the field. They were playing that night.
Well, we were there then, because was it their grand opening?
No, it was when it was still the Great American.
Oh, okay.
This was
okay,
about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're right.
It's
I'm
pretty cool.
sorry.
It's a cool place.
Yeah. Totally.
And it's like right before it's starting to get cold, so good time.
Well, we hope
Get
we
it
get good weather on Saturday, because it's starting to get chilly. And
Yeah, no,
during the
it's gonna be warm for like another week, I think.
It was like 103 or something today in my car. My car says 103. I don't know if that's true.
I'm so tired
But
of
it
it.
felt like it, yeah.
I just want it to be winter already, man.
yeah.
Me too.
I like the cold. So what does this Fastback 67 have coming up?
Well, we have actually we only got 2 more gigs. I think.
You take a break like for the holidays?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We take November and December. Well, I think our last actual official gig is November 6th. It's a toy run for the out at the Texas Cantina, and that's going to be our last gig, and we're shut down for until December 31st. We will be at Maria's Cantina on December 31st, New Year's Eve.
Oh, nice.
So we're ringing in that, and then it starts all over again.
You're not doing the Toys for Tots this year with I know Mario and Amanda over at B17 are.
You know what? There's so
having that.
many bike clubs doing them right now. We actually asked for one for the 4th, but I think they kind of changed directions on that. So it's going to be in Maria's Cantina. That one's another one. I can't remember the name of the
Is that Toys for Tots?
Well, because they're all. They're not.
they're all
It's
Toys
not.
for
It's not actual Toys for Tots because I think that's from the Marines.
Marines, yeah.
But there are a lot of toy runs going on. They start doing them in November.
That's awesome.
To prepare for December and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for the people out there, like Judy and I always make it a point to like give something, for the kids, So this year especially with that B17 one, there's gonna be a really cool dude playing Santa Claus. So.
Oh really?
Show up with some toys and hit him up so Santa can give them to the kids.
That is so cool.
Man, he's playing Santa. I don't know.
Find out.
Must be Santa Claus.
They're looking for a Grinch.
Are you me?
Speaking of, not to get off study, but I'm doing this drunken Santa party. I think we're doing like the December 20th, and everyone has to dress like Santa Claus. And we're all gonna go to the bars and get fucked up and are drunk and shit like that.
Sign me up.
Yeah, so guys, if you're watching this, look for it on Facebook and an event on Facebook. So.
I got the drunken part, and I'm gonna get the Santa part pretty soon.
Ladies, you can dress up as Miss Santa or an elf or whatever you want, or Mr. Santa. We're not gonna judge.
Bad Santa. You should call it Bad Santa.
No, I think that's what we called it. I think that's what we drunken bad Santa or something like that. So it's gonna be cool.
It's a cool movie. Nice, man. Well, it was. Is there anything else you want to cover?
Oh, no,
Any
no,
shout outs to
no.
anybody? Shout out to your band.
No.
Yeah.
They're asleep. We're already senior citizens. We're asleep right now.
Chill dudes, really cool.
If they don't
dudes.
gotta rehearse, or they're asleep.
They're excellent musicians. Really good dudes. Judy and I were fortunate enough to do a little photo shoot for them, like right when like COVID was starting to get a little more relaxed with the
yeah.
with restrictions.
Was it like April?
I think so. Yeah, we did like an outdoor shoot, and it was really cool to meet your band and then see them on stage. I still feel like I owe you some pictures, man, because Judy and I are always talking. Robbie's playing again, so we gotta go, but something always comes up. But
yeah, well, we need to do the new shoot for 2020.
I still want to come out to one of your shows and get some shots.
After the sugar detox, I'm sure we're all gonna look different.
Oh, I don't know if you've tried the Yingling. Have you tried that beer?
I have not.
They have one called Flight. It only has like 2.4 carbs.
Well, isn't there another one, a Bud, that's like even 1 point something?
What?
Right? I barely found this out this past weekend.
Look into that, but I'm all about the Yingling right now because I'm pretty excited that they're in Texas.
I never even had that.
Well, it's because we never had it before.
Yeah.
That beer was it's the oldest beer in America.
Really?
But it's never been sold west of the Mississippi River because the owner never wanted it over here. He just said East Coast. So recently they brought it to Texas, and that's why I've been consuming it.
Well, what an asshole.
Right?
Right?
Like we've drinking.
But at least he's trying to.
What a greedy Gretchen.
Yeah, they have like, if you want to try it, go to, I mean, they don't sponsor us, but hit up Total Wine at the Fountains of Farah, because they got like 4 or 5 different Yinglings there. So
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna hit it up. I never had it.
some good stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's a lager. They got a pilsner, good stuff. So we want to thank Robbie for
Thank
coming
you for
and
having
allowing
me.
us to
It was
feature.
fun. It was
for
nice
coming.
meeting you.
Monolith
Got to check out
sessions.
your band pretty soon here.
Yeah.
Wanted to give a shout out to our homie Tezu. He got me this really cool homemade necklace made by his hands. He's a really cool MC, and he's also a really good beatmaster. We had him on our old project before, and I was always shocked. Actually, I was shocked to find out that he was the MC and he made his beats. He was Mach 1. He always talked about Mach 1 made this, Mach 1 made that, and he was Mach 1. So shout out to Tezu. He's the desert god, Tezu. Any shout outs, Chris?
Hey, Pit Demons in Dallas. Those guys follow us around and they support us like crazy. So I love you guys, and that's my shout out, man. Love you guys.
Also want to dedicate this episode to our good friend Joseph Ruagawa. Just found out that we lost him today, and he's a really good dude. He was a bassist in a local band called Undying Hate. Nothing but love for you, Joseph. Rest in peace, and wish all the best to your family, man. Our condolences. So, yeah, with that, we'll go ahead and end our episode with Miss Robbie, and we'll see you guys next time on the Monolith Sessions. Peace.